let's talk about the first card that's coming through, because this is something that signifies residual energies coming through in the March timeframe. So we have here the Two of Pentacles. This is a situation where you are trying to get your financial situation in order. You're trying to move money around different bank accounts, consolidating money, as well as figuring out if you have enough in your coffers in order to make some type of a large purchase, or in order to divert your funds in a specific venture. Okay. And I feel for some of you, there has been some type of a work partnership with another person, possibly an earth sign. So I have here a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. And I feel like it's a mixture of friendship, business, and also pleasure. So I feel like a lot of you might be doing some type of a creative project with this person. And the way that it's been done in the past, it doesn't feel to me as if it's generating enough income for you. And I feel like the project itself has a lot of potential, but I'm sensing that you might be working at cross purposes with one another. You might have creative differences that will hinder your ability to move projects ahead. And I feel like you yourself might, if you are involved with this person in a business partnership, I'm also sensing you have other, other things that you're diverting your time with or distracting yourself with. And so this partnership is not generating the income that you're hoping for. And so business partnerships need to be thoroughly re-examined. We need to really understand where time or, energies or specific like financial resources are not siphoned or not utilized properly, so that we can cut back on costs, and so that we can, manage our financial situation a little bit better and have a better blueprint or a better sense of direction as to what needs to be done. So having a discussion about financial assets, financial resources with a business partner, laying out a game plan for yourself, that's going to be very crucial for you for this month. What I'm also sensing as well is there has been some major financial upheaval within your environment. And I do sense a lot of it has to do overall with you feel like you want to do work that is emotionally fulfilling, right? Everybody wants work that is emotionally fulfilling. But I do sense for some of you, there is a sense of obligation when it comes to your work. A lot of you might have some type of a family owned business where something is passed down. You don't want to do it, but you feel obligated because of sentimental reasons, because your family might be dependent upon you. And so as a result of that, I feel like you might be jumping in sort of half invested in it. Like when we start something, if our energy is scattered and it's not 100% heart, body, and soul invested into a specific venture, it's not going to generate money. And that's just, it's a universal energy. It's basically the law of attraction. So make sure you are yourself aligned, heart, body, and soul when it comes to the work that you're doing. Otherwise, there's this cyclical pattern here about going through the motions, making money and not feeling emotionally fulfilled, or going through the motions, doing a job where you're not emotionally fulfilled and the money is not coming through. So I feel like there are some blockages in your finance sector, and it pertains to your passion, your ambition, your drive regarding the work that you're actually doing. Okay. And then for others, I do sense that partnerships, family, and things like that, draining the financial resources. So, I do see the image of children growing up like weeds, growing up very, very fast. They need to have either extracurricular activities that's coming through here with this Page of Swords. They want to enroll in, I feel like after school activities, field trips, even leadership camps. I'm seeing like Boy Scouts. I'm seeing like people that might, you might have to enroll your children in like summer school or even summer activities. And I feel that that's where a lot of the financial resources are going, towards family and towards children. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you're sitting down trying to figure out some type of a game plan to see if financially it is feasible for you to do that. Okay. So You might have trouble. You might have a lot of trouble saying no to children if they're asking for gadgets, if they're asking for electronics, if they're asking for things that might be a little bit more on the expensive side. And I feel like you're trying very hard to provide for them. But you have to really understand, like children, finding things that are age appropriate for them, and not just cater to whatever they demand. The kids seem to me to be reasonable, but I feel like you're trying to compensate. Like, just be careful about giving them things that they want that might not be age appropriate, or that might not be appropriate for the financial situation. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So, being a little bit more discreet about what you're giving to children versus what you feel is appropriate, and versus, what they want. So, there's a fine line between that. And I'm not going to go too heavy into parenting styles, but I do sense a lot of money coming through here, based on the demands of the children as they are grown up. And I see children growing up really, really fast before your eyes. There will be a lot of discussions, based on, partnerships, whether or not it is still viable for you to continue in a business partnership or continuing in a business contract with another person. And I do see many of you talking to suppliers, talking to financiers, talking to, even financial institutions as well, to take out a loan in order to invest in some part of the business, to expand the business, or even to cover up some deficits within the business. So I see a lot of you reaching out to other people, trying to find the right loans with the best interest rates, or even trying to find suppliers, or even like distributors, or working, along that supply chain network to link yourself up with people, and so that you can reduce costs in your business venture. And especially for those of you working, doing a regular 9 to 5, like working for other people, I do sense there is going to be a lot of harmony, a lot of love and support coming through in your work environment. So this is a card about appreciation. This is a card about feeling quite good and feeling as if you are on the right track and making a huge difference in somebody's lives. Okay. For those of you who are doing the 9 to 5, working for a company or working for somebody else, not so much for yourself, I am sensing here that there is, you're going to get a lot of recognition, and you are where you're meant to be if you are in the helping profession. You're going to see drastic, I feel like this is the month in which things are coming full circle, things bearing fruit, and people are appreciative of all the work that you're putting in. So I do see some major breakthrough in the work environment, possibly opportunities for advancement, promotions, getting that desired shift, getting the proper recognition overall. And so, the opportunities might be there for you to advance ahead, where you are able to, get a salary increase, or even transfer into a different department with a higher salary, or even with higher position where you have more responsibilities. And I do see a lot of you advancing ahead and getting yourself into a position where you will be supervising other people. You will be able to have other people, work under you. Okay. So that's specifically for those of you who are working for other people, but then the ones that are self-employed or in a partnership where they have self-employment opportunities with another person, I feel like there is a little bit of a financial dip, and I feel like the financial situation, it's a little bit shaky, and it's a little bit fuzzy. It's almost like you have to sort out the details with your partner. And so there is going to be money here coming through from financial institutions, if that's the case. And I do sense that you're going to be able to get some financial assistance. Okay. I also see this, the ninth house also stands for the house of in-laws. And I feel like even financial blessings, financial windfall, financial blessings coming through from in-laws, which is going to trickle in for you as well. Okay. So there's a little bit of a blessing coming through from other people and especially family members. And I feel like it's going to remind you that sense of rootedness when it comes to your family and who's really important to you. So that whole concept about seeing value in the right things, objects, material things, and then seeing the values in the right people. That's also going to be the major theme for this month. Let me talk about the relationship sector. A lot of you are, and this is romantic relationship. A lot of you are in a relationship where somebody deeply, deeply, deeply cares about you. And if, this is for people who are in a stable relationship. Okay. And I'm seeing earth sign. So Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It doesn't have to be an earth sign, but I'm seeing that first of all. You have somebody that really cares a great deal about you. And whenever I see this card, I usually think of it as, through thick and thin, somebody that is going to, it's like the ride or die type of relationship where you have a really deep rooted connection to one another. You have a big sense of responsibility towards one another. There is going to be strife coming through for this month regarding finances and regarding values. And I do sense some issues, recurring themes about flirtation in the work environment. Flirtation in the work environment, that's coming through. I do see some common themes here about trust and compatibility in the relationship. That's coming through as well. So just make sure that you are open, upfront, and very, very honest. And once again, that whole idea about, it's not so much the event that needs to be talked about. It's how the other person feels in light of what happens. I feel like that's something that needs to be flushed out between you and a partner. So I do sense a little bit of resentment, whether somebody feeling like unappreciated or whether somebody feeling that they are not heard, their point of view is kind of dismissed. They feel a little bit snubbed. So that is coming through in your relationship sector, in your romantic sector. So be very, very mindful about addressing issues and not taking things so literally when you communicate, but also thinking about, abstract, thinking of, so like this is, I see this a lot in relationship patterns where people believe that, it's like one event triggers something, right? And you and your partner are arguing over what exactly happened during that event. But it's not so much the event that you're arguing about. So this is like somebody taking things in a more literal sense. And this is somebody not understanding and taking things in a more of a emotional or even trying to get at the truth. So I feel like you and your partner might be arguing over the same event, but arguing about different things altogether. So that's going to be a little bit frustrating, but it is really important to flush it out. It is really important to flush out what exactly happened and things like that. And come to a consensus about, let's not do that again, or let's just promise to not so much agree to disagree. I feel like this is a recurring problem. It's a recurring problem. And so possibly for the past, 8 months is a recurring problem. And so you can't just settle and say, let's agree to disagree. Some things need to be hashed out. Otherwise, it can really affect this relationship down the line. Okay, you've got somebody that really, really cares about you. And so it's important to flush it out. So moving forward here, the last message that I want to leave you with this general reading is that I feel like some of you, there is a sense of like lacking in direction, lacking in validation, and lacking overall in that sense of feeling as if you're on the right track. Okay. And I do sense a lot of it has to do, honestly, I feel like a lot of it has to do with placing value in the wrong things in the past. And so here is what I'm seeing. You are somebody who's generally a very, very good worker. And you do things in a very diligent manner to make sure that your responsibilities are taken care of, okay? And this is a card about the mundane, doing something in a repetitive motion, not feeling inspired, feeling as if, I just want to get through the day. And so I feel like while you're doing that, your mind might be drifting. Your mind might be drifting to the place that you want to be, to the position that you want to be in and to other things that you'd rather be doing. And so there is this major emotional disconnect between you and the work that you're doing for some of you. And this is a card here about somebody who has a lot of potential. They have great business acumen. They have a sharp eye for detail. They're very good at leading people. And these are the qualities that you embody. Great eye for detail, great business sense, very personable, very charismatic, and very likable. And at the same time, you have like a lot of ideas that you want to implement into the world. And with this card, this is almost like stopping yourself before you start, you know, a little bit of procrastination as well. And I do sense for some of you, especially for those who are not married, who are trying to, you know, implement some ideas and you're a little bit fearful about how to go about it. This is a card that's telling you to take the first step rather than sitting there and daydreaming about all the things that you're hoping to achieve. Take the first steps to make that dream a reality. And that might be needing, you know, a loan, needing a business loan, needing money to come through from an institution, or needing some practical real life advice from somebody that has gone down the same route so that you feel a little bit more motivated. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here as the last message for you. The other thing actually, for those of you who are students, okay, I do sense there is going to be a lot of financial assistance coming through. So if you're in a school capacity, if you're kind of worried financially for whatever reason, there's some money coming through. And, you know, it could be student loans for the new semester, for the new quarter. It could just be a lot of financial assistance coming through from family members and things like that. But I do sense, if you are worried about money, scholarships, okay, something right up your alley, something that you can apply for. So do a little bit more research and digging, because I do feel like this might be there's some financial worries here in this spread that I'm not entirely comfortable with. And so if you are a student, look up scholarship opportunities, or even grants, or even, you know, subsidize student loans as well. Okay, so look into that matter.